Well, greetings everyone. And today is a monumentous occasion because I've been making an effort to upgrade the Bandito headquarters, aka the Bandito Rec Room, aka the Bandito HQ for short. Firstly, a lot of my PC games have now been reorganized. Then, my DVDs have been moved over to one of the white shelves, and now I don't have to worry about moving one of my collector's bottles to get a DVD out whenever I want to watch it. And last, but certainly not least, I finally upgraded from the huge Samsung CRT TV that has been in service in the Bandito HQ for many years with a flat screen TV, and gone are the days of having to unhook the TV just to unhook one device, or even trying to injure myself while trying to reach for the inputs themselves while trying to unhook the console. I can now do it with ease and not have to worry about injuring myself. Oh, and I also don't have to worry about putting the console on the floor anymore, as I now have enough shelf space to put the console on the TV stand itself. That also means that I can now play my retro games in glorious high definition. Yeah, HD. But there is just one piece of the upgrade puzzle that I've yet to get to. And that is to finally get myself one of those Sony combo DVD VCR recorders that actually record DVDs. Not just one of those cheap DVD VCR combos that don't record DVDs and only record VHS tapes. Oh no, I'm talking about one of these. And you know I gotta get me one of these. But anyways, let's play some good old Super Famicom, because what better way to introduce a new member to the Bandito family than to introduce it with a Super Famicom game. It's been nearly 11 years since I first started the Otaku Bandito series. Yep, 11 years, and things have only gotten better ever since. Now, to give you a brief explanation on how I named my character the Otaku Bandito, aka Scott Goodwill. Well, the Otaku Bandito, of course, was named due to two things. Otaku is the fact that I was and still am a big anime geek, despite the fact that I've never reviewed an anime, but I still like to name my character the Otaku Bandito. And of course, it was also named in anticipation of me doing a potential anime review. I might get to that sometime. And Bandito was also picked because I've been watching Irate Gamer videos, yeah. The Irate Gamer show. And I noticed that the Irate Gamer, aka Chris Borres, called certain enemies and characters in the game Banditos, and I just thought it was hilarious, and I decided to also use the word Bandito when coming up with my character. So yeah, that's what led me to create this character and come up with this name. So yeah, it's kind of a hilarious backstory, and now you know why I named myself the Otaku Bandito. But anyways, today I have to you a game from the SD Gundam series. Yeah, it's called Super Gashapon SD Gundam X. What a name, isn't it? Interesting fun fact. Did you know that SD Gundam was originally going to be made into a Saturday morning cartoon English dub thing called Doozy Bots, but it never made it past. Yeah, so no one was willing to air it. So yeah, our first exposure to Gundam wouldn't be until years. Because we wouldn't get our first English dub of a Gundam anime series until the late 90s. Even though Gundam itself was the originator of the real robot mecha genre. Yeah, pretty cool, isn't it? You all know about, say, Mazinger and older mecha anime, right? Usually mecha that looks cool, but wasn't designed with realism in mind. Yeah, it was more fantasy-driven, and the robots were used to defeat evil rather than fight against other robots. But Gundam brought things like mechanical issues and a possible real-life scenario into the mix, hence why it's called the real robot genre. Yeah, so like Rerez said, it's possible that humanity could advance into the far reaches of space only to have the same conflicts that we now have today. So yeah. Rerez also explained it in his review on Gundam Battle for Earth on the PC and Apple Bandai Pippin. Remind me to get one of these Apple Bandai Pippins because I have yet to collect it. I'm always looking for new things to collect in the vintage Apple collection, but sometimes I don't have the space for it. But anyways, this is a game for the Super Famicom, and you might be wondering, is it going to be any better than Gundam Battle for Earth? Well, let's find out. Hopefully the Principality of Zeon, or Yeon, or whatever, however you pronounce it, won't be on to us today because we're only here to review SD Gundam X Super Gachapon World for the Super Famicom. Yeah, it's kind of ironic that I start my review series with this brand new TV with a Super Famicom game based on anime, which is how exactly I started my video series. With a Super Famicom game based on anime, but this is one based on a different anime, but still an anime though. But anyways, this game actually took me a while to figure out because I thought it was going to be some sort of shmup, but no. It's a real-time strategy game on a home console, and they don't usually turn out that well. And of course, you can set the turn counters and the TEC, and you can even choose the nation. Like if you want to choose the Earth Federation or the Principality of Zeon. Well, not the Duchy of Jean, because that's how you're actually supposed to pronounce it. Principality of Zeon. So yeah, it's kind of cool that you get to play as various factions in the Gundam universe. And, of course, the Gundam universe is known for having interesting stories of politics. And, of course, each side doesn't have a good good guy and bad guy motive, kind of like Warcraft. There's no clear good guy and bad guy narrative, because both sides have nuances, especially when it comes to the orcs having heroes. But anyways, here it's kind of like a real-time strategy game. It's kind of like Godzilla 2 on the NES or Godzilla on the Game Gear, but here it actually makes more sense because it's Gundam, and you're not playing as the military that has no effect against the Godzilla monsters, as they can't be hurt by conventional weaponry. So yeah, it actually makes more sense with Gundam, given the source material and how many factions there are in the Gundam universe. So yeah, I'm moving my pieces around and each player gets a different turn, so it's kind of like Gundam chess. Yeah, once you've moved all of your ships and mobile suits, aka mechas or Gundams, you can go into battle, and you can select various Gundams, and you can even build Gundams in a factory. I haven't actually figured that out yet. I'm still trying to figure that out because the game is in Japanese, and I'm not very good at my Japanese. So yeah, you got your unit list, and you can move units and attack. Yeah, once each player's turn ends, they can also move their units, and this game would actually be great with 2 players, because it involves trying to plan your very move and trying to beat your opponents. And what's even cooler is that you even get to control various other factions, just in case you want the battles to be crazy. So yeah, my turn just ended, and now it's the opponent's turn. They're gonna move their units, and they're going to try to attack later on. But anyways, this is really interesting. Here's what the factory looks like, and you can build various mobile suits, aka mechas, aka Gundams. So if you know how to use the factory, you can build various mechas, aka mobile suits, aka Gundams, to go into battle. And once you go into battle, it's where it gets really exciting. Watch. I'm gonna move one of my ships to that square. And then I'm going to move another one of my ships to that square. And go into battle with one of the enemy's mobile suits. Yeah, a Zaku. Yeah, that's what they use, a Zaku. I know what these things are called, by the way. So yeah. Once you move your units, it can get real exciting, and here's an even battle between the Zeon ship and White Base. Who will win? Well, let's find out. Yeah, it seems to be an even battle, but White Base just barely wins. Dang the Zeon men. Those magnificent Zeon men. They read my book. Hey, yeah, I'll move to another one of my ships and take out another one of the enemy's Zakus. And yeah, that's how it goes. So yeah, it's definitely worth playing for any Gundam fan. But anyways, on to my final thoughts. In my opinion, Super Gachapon World SD Gundam is actually an interesting game, and this whole real-time strategy thing works a lot better than Godzilla, believe me. This is actually a much better strategy game than Godzilla, because at least it makes sense. It's Gundam. You don't have giant monsters that are immune to military attacks and conventional weaponry. You have one side going up against another side, and there's no clear good guy, bad guy motive like Reyes mentioned, and it's all about politics war, just like how real life would be if this stuff were to continue in the future. But anyways, while I'm not a big fan of real-time strategy games on consoles, as they rarely ever work, unless you use a mouse, this game is actually pretty good. I actually enjoyed it. That's why it's getting an 8 out of 10. If you're a fan of Gundam, I highly recommend you check this game out, and it's actually a pretty good experience. Although, there's one mark against it. I do wish that it had Super Nintendo mouse support. I'm not sure if it supports the Super Nintendo mouse, but it's a shame that it doesn't, given that it's a real-time strategy game and you need a mouse with those kind of games, because without a mouse, you're not given the whole RTS experience. I prefer playing my RTS games on a Mac and a PC, especially my good old Bandai Blue iMac G3 with Warcraft, but it's still a pretty good experience for it being on the Super Famicom. It's a shame that Doozy Bots didn't come out. I would have gotten a SNES version based on this IP that never saw the light of day. It would have been called Doozy Bots Real-Time Strategy or something like that. Or Doozy Bots Strategic Operations Simulator on the SNES if it were to exist. But anyways, Gundam is known for having some great stuff that, of course, we would have some anime like Macross actually take certain influence from Gundam, but take it to a whole new level with the mechas turning into aircraft. Now that's cool. And Gerwax as well. It's also the basis for certain toys and Transformers like Whirl and Skyfire, aka Jetfire. So yeah, pretty good game. And definitely get it if you're into Gundam. Although, again, I wish it supported the mouse. Yeah, so it's pretty good for a real-time strategy game on consoles, given that usually these kind of games never work on consoles, and I actually enjoyed it. There's not much else to say. And it's also pretty cheap as well. We could pick it up on eBay pretty easily. So yeah, a decent experience if you know your Japanese, if you can learn how to play it. But if you do know how to play it and you've learned pretty much everything, then you can have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, pretty much a good game. That is, if I can learn how to build Gundams in factories. Yeah, still have to get on it, but still a good game. Anyways, it's been a good 11 years. Well, good nearly 11 years, and I actually plan on having a big celebration coming up, because Racer Cinema Productions has definitely gotten better over the years. And I've upgraded my equipment and my setup. And hopefully, when the pieces are aligned, we will get even more awesomeness coming in the near future. So, if you like this video, feel free to check out my first Otaku Bandito review on another Super Famicom game that I played in my SNES, because I put in a pair of pliers and took out the plastic tabs. But now I got a Super Famicom, I don't need to do that anymore. So I can pretty much play games on the appropriate system now. So it's amazing how far the Bandito and Racer Cinema Productions has gone. So yeah, I hope to do more videos like these in the future if I get around to them. And all I have to say is catch you guys next time, and peace out.